Don't pause, press play. Don't pause. Don't pause, press play. Don't pause, press Don't pause, press play. Don't pause, press play. Don't pause. Don't pause, press play. Don't pause, press play.
situation to be able to deal with. Although Bath do have members inside the window, inside of the long position, as well as CT, so they can get themselves a multi-pronged attack on this retake. But it seems like East Anglia are able to handle things well, and they're able to find the round.
A great opening statement there from UEA, opening up with the flawless, definitely sending a message to their Bath counterparts that the reason they've made it this far undefeated is because they can output rounds like that, and you have to respect the team that's coming in here.
Yeah, you really, really do have to respect them. You can see 2 kills for OT Cookie, and of course, kills spread further across the board as well. As we'll get things going then for the second round of this one. No kills so far from Bath, so they're not really had a positive start in this one, but can they do anything in the second round, though? I think they've gone for the save here, so not really expecting all that much, although this Cypher Cam behind the bit of cover there. Creative placement actually spots out some information as that Sova tries to take the hooker position, but the Cypher will be found. Still no kills for the University of Bath here on the defensive side. On these pistols, they simply can't get anything done as East Anglia look to try and break in towards that B bomb site. They've got the spike plant down, and Bath still no way in.
And there's definitely, hopefully we'll be seeing Bath warm up a little bit, sort of get that moniker to their name of the Bath water. You know, you never get a Bath running hot straight away. You gotta start things off slow. Hopefully they can get some information here, as they're obviously not getting the kills in the economy on their side. Hopefully they can figure out what they want to do to change up the way they're going to hold this fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. And, well, just looking for a couple of exit frags here at Bath, but, well, they're at least going to get one. And now you can see the Brim working his way in through window, trying to get a couple more, but not going to happen. Going to be denied there, as the attackers will be able to pick that one up. And that's one we expected. So they go 2-0. University East Anglia putting their foot down early here in this one. And Bath, over the last 2 rounds, they haven't really had that many opportunities to try and capitalize on. East Anglia have had the lion's share of all the opportunities so far, but that can very quickly change.
Yeah, at the very least, one saving grace for our defenders is that they made it out with a single exit kill. So no double flawless, because you definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of that for your first 2 rounds, especially when you're taking the defense for the first round, which, at least for me, has been the side that has been preferred if you're going to take a lead.
Yeah, it is. You can see this aggression, though, from the defensive side. Taking a bit of mid-control thanks to that smoke. So at least there's something for Bath to work with now, because on previous rounds, they simply haven't had anything. Pistol rounds, they were just steamrolled onto the B site, not putting up much of a fight. Now they have this map control to use. Perhaps this round will turn out a little bit differently for them. But East Anglia looking to try and retake that position now. Bit of a firefight towards mid, but results in nothing in the grand scheme of things. And East Anglia now prodding and probing towards the A-bomb site. Cookie opens things up then and swings around, tries to take the fight with lamps. And the trades do come through, but East Anglia still in the better position at the moment. F22 trying to get a random spam through the smoke, not going to be connecting in this instance, though. The Cypher still on the site to try and put up a form of defense here. But will he be able to land the shots? That is the important question. Dargon here as well, sitting on Lamp's position, and, well, just about to be greeted. There we go, able to nail the shots. And East Anglia, they continue to try and batter on the doors of this bomb site, but it seems like Bath has now finally woken up. 2 frags to their name, and now they can try and get that spike defuse in, but there's still so many opportunities for East Anglia to win this one out, and they do find the 2 frags at the very end. It's just a simple numbers game at times.
Excellent adaptation there from our attacking side. They played this round a lot slower than they played the other 2 rounds, opting to sort of... It seemed like they were trying to spread out Bath's defense. They weren't giving any information away too much on where their numbers were stacked. And then we saw, once they decided which site it was that they were going to collapse on, you saw the picks started coming out in the favor of the attackers.
Yeah, so on to the next one then. Bath still looking to try and get their first round onto the board. East Anglia, again, another kill to their name, this time early on in this particular round. Again, it's the pistols for Bath taking the save buy in this one. So East Anglia looking to likely get themselves another one onto the board here. And, well, they're going to be slowed down somewhat by the slow from the Sage, but this has a ring of inevitability about it, especially with that early pick.
Yeah, they weren't able to clutch up the team fight when they actually had the numbers advantage. So playing from behind already this early on, especially with the reduced economy that they're basically staring out the death of the barrel for this round.
Smoke's down.
There we go. Spike plant has come through for East Anglia. The race towards door with that Sheriff, tries to find the head but unable to connect in this instance. Just 2 players left remaining now for Bath to try and do something with this retake, but it's looking oh so unlikely. The Cypher holds things down, and another flawless round there for East Anglia. They're really, really not taking their foot off the throttle here, despite the save buy on the other side. They want to make these rounds convincing.
Yeah, I mean, we said looking to make us eat our own words. They are looking to make a statement so far is UEA. Obviously, the sides can swap. We might see that maybe Bath gets their second win as they move over to the offensive side. Maybe just get a little bit more accustomed. Maybe the pressure. You know, this is one of these early day tournaments. Maybe not everyone's ready to getting to these late stages of the bracket.
We'll just have to see. Another buy coming through, though, for University of Bath, but they need to find the rounds at this point. Not quite landing the spray onto the recon bolt there. Does reveal the Razor's position. Now Mr. Obvious from Heaven. Trying to get a couple of shots through that box, but at the moment, University of Bath now. A little bit better of a time on this one.
Here.
There's a quick rotation from UEA just to decide that they were going to head towards that B site. See Brimstone getting ready to set up.
Ooh, the tripwire just causes them to have a little bit of a stall. There's the orbital strike coming through, but does it connect onto anyone? It's going to be a no, but Ice Angler still have found the frag, found the entry. OT Cookie trying to, in and amongst the confusion, get the spike plant down. Has been able to find a frag as well, but now East Anglia still have brought it down now to a 2 versus 2 situation. Vistinator inside the window, sightline over all of B site at the moment. But it looks like that wall going up will signify that East Anglia thinking of going all the way through spawn and getting themselves towards that A-bomb site.
It's really unfortunate for Bath. They definitely looks like they were in position to finally maybe break this losing streak and put themselves in the driver's seat for once. But unfortunately, the longer the team fight went, the closer they got to dropping those numbers. You can already see now it is 2-1 in favor of East Anglia again. It's going to be a lot of work to be put in here by Vistinator to try and get them their first round.
East Anglia, very disciplined at the moment. The fake defuse to try and bait someone out. Vistinator so patient. Spots one towards Labs. Can he connect the spray? Yes, he can. Swings back around onto the player in Heaven, but he's been able to get away, and now it's a matter of the time. Can Vistinator get this defuse in? No. The Sova ultimate is up. The Hunter's Fury shuts it down.
You know, we were getting close there. You can see it got to the halfway point, was probably trying to back off, but unfortunately, good placement there on the side of the UEA Sova. Making sure that all that effort was for naught. And still, once again, Bath, they're showing signs of life, but still not quite heated up enough in order to challenge the UEA team.
OT Cookie top of the East Anglia team at the moment. 5-0 in the early stages of Bind. This might be a pretty quick map if that trend continues throughout this one. Dargon trying to find the entry towards Hooker. RTJ trying to hold things down, able to find one frag, but maybe not enough in this situation. The breach flash comes through, actually forces East Anglia off the angle, but they got a push coming through long already, and OT Cookie jumping out the window has been able to secure the B site for the East Anglian team. And now Bath, another retake that they'll have to try and go for here because they need rounds. There's, you know, they're staring down the barrel of a 6-0 scoreline at the moment. There's the equal trades, but even equal trades will not help Bath here. They need to find the 3 players of East Anglia. Maximus swinging. There we go. Finds the timing, finds the double spray, and that's another one for East Anglia.
Definitely, as much as we're saying signs of life, it seems that East Anglia recognize that if you're going to struggle a little bit, they're just going to push down on you a little bit harder. Looking like the older brother bullying you on the couch, saying that, I know Mum said it's your turn to play on the Xbox, but I'm not done with this level just yet.
Yeah, as the middle child of three, I do understand that. It's either the older brother bullying you, or it's the younger brother getting all the stuff. And there we go. Anyway, my family issues aside, 0-6 is not the scoreline Bath would have wanted coming into this one. That is for certain. Still time to recover, though. Not all is lost. If they're able to pick up a couple of rounds towards the end of this half and take that advantage onto the attacking side, then who knows what could possibly happen. But when you're losing this badly, it's not looking great. But Visnator trying to turn it around, being able to pick off one of the East Anglians. But, oh, there's the flank coming through as well. So Bath really taking this game, or at least this round by the horns. They actually gained information on the spike as well. They know that one's been dropped, but they're not going to commit to try and secure control of it. They're just going to fall back to the sites and just try and wait this one out a little bit longer.
Yeah, I would hope that they don't try and push the issue too much here, as every single time they've tried to play firefight for firefight, they have obviously lost those interactions. They know where the spike is. They obviously are playing defense, so they're not the ones that have to move. As long as they don't peek aggressively, they eventually can just stall this one out.
Smoke's down.
Yeah. Smokes from Bepis. He's been able to hold on to those for quite a while, and they become a lot more valuable towards the end of rounds like these. Dargon, he's got all of his smokes as well. All 3 to use on that brim. So with 20 seconds left remaining, it's going to be a fake towards this A site to try and bait some rotations off. But, you know, at the time, this moment, time is off the essence. Cypher out on towards the B bomb site and gets tripped by the other Cypher. And is still able to land the spray. And a little bit more confusion there as time is running oh so low. And the timer is done. Bath are able to find their first round in this entire map. And they get the consolation, well, the additional kill at the end as well, just to seal it.
You know, finally, at the very least, not seeing a shutout here. I'm sure Bath can breathe a sigh of relief. They have managed to put themselves on the scoreboard. But still a very, very large uphill battle to climb in order to try and even just tie up with East Anglia, as they are sitting at a nice 6-1 scoreline, which I'm sure they'll be very, very happy going into the halftime.
This goes here.
Yeah, I think they will as well. East Anglia. There's no reason to panic, though, at this stage for them. They can just treat that round as a little bit of a blip, a little bit of a mistake, and just approach this round in its insular form. But again, free mid control being gained, though, from East Anglia. There's the weight from the breach, though, for that push that Bepis was able to manage in the previous round. He tries it again, but doesn't find success this time around. And now, looks like, though, still a 4 versus 4 situation. Kills on either side of the map, but East Anglia now starting to collapse more towards the A side of things, but they still have plenty of time. Still a minute left on the clock, and they could potentially wait out that wall if they so wanted, but it's the smokes down from that brim. The slow orb just keeps East Anglia at bay, and damage trying to come through. Doesn't tag up as many, but now East Anglia out on towards the site under the cover of all of those brim smokes. Stim beacon down as well to try and help the team in these fights. The Rays on the site itself, that's Sage Wall being a bit of a problem. There's a little bit of a gap, though, that the Rays can shoot through, but East Anglia are going to be well aware of that. They back off of those positions that were exposed to it, so Bath still have quite a task on the retake. They're holding Thunder through. Lamps comes through. There's a kill for Bath. There's the instant response from East Anglia as they Bath tried to secure this retake, try and get another round on the board, and they've been able to make it happen. The defuse can come in, sticks it down, and now we're 6-2.
Excellent discipline there from the Bath side, making sure that every time they did drop a number, they made sure to trade one out as fast as possible, making sure that they were never at a disadvantage for a particular long amount of time. And as much as you can shrug off 1 round, maybe 2 rounds, sometimes, especially with teams that haven't been playing together as long, a single mistake can really throw a wrench into the machine. If it's going on autopilot, it's totally fine. But the moment that you suddenly have to go, hang on, these guys aren't as free as we thought. We might need to change something up. That's where you can start seeing more mistakes. We saw a little bit of rush, like rush decision making on the side of UEA. And if they're gonna want to clean things up and go into the halftime on a W, they'll probably want to slow things down and make sure they're not particularly shaken by how these last 2 rounds have gone.
Yeah. Let's try and recover a little bit, but like I said, East Anglia, they can drop around here and there and still be absolutely okay. But this is the sign of life that University of Bath really, really needed, because on that massive losing streak at the very start of the round, it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in the team. But now you've been able to pick up a couple of rounds. Maybe you can have a little bit more of a positive outlook on things. East Anglia, though, again, control towards Hooker. They've done pretty well from this position on previous occasions. B-side offensive looking likely. Spike not in position to be able to go straight away, though. And there's the opening pick on the B side for East Anglia. The Breach has it, and now here come the Cypher Cage, here come the Brim Smokes, and it's just so easy for East Anglia to steal off these positions, but Targon with the orbital strike puts a bit of a thorn in the side of University of Bath there, as that flushes out the rest of the angles on the B bomb site, and that spike plant being secured. So East Anglia very, very disciplined in terms of how they're taking these bomb sites. They're not running out with the lack of utility. They're just making sure the smokes are down, making sure the Cypher Cages are in position as well, and good ult usage to try and clear out the rest of the angles as well, as East Anglia tried to clean up.
Yeah, I think, honestly, they recognized that Bath was starting to push a little bit on the gas pedal, and recognized that if they could just chill out. They have been winning basically every single firefight before the last 2 rounds. So they were able to recognize what was working for them. And the moment they saw that overextension, they punished it. Full aggression off of the 1 pick. You saw the rotation come so fast through, and they just made themselves very, very present on the point. We're seeing a return to form here for our current highest seed.
Maximus back to the top of the scoreboard for East Anglia. That was occupied by OT Cookie earlier on.
Revealing area.
Bath, though, they're down onto the weaker buy once again, and East Anglia have already been able to find an open pick. And this one, they're going to go a little bit faster towards the A bomb site. The smokes are down. The slow orb, though, will keep things at bay towards Showers at least. But East Anglia, they're going to just disrespect it and get out on towards the site. The shot towards Lamp is sweet, and East Anglia looking to try to secure yet another round. And Bath not likely going to be able to find a way in with these pistols, although a couple of nice Sheriff headshots would certainly open up the round, but it requires Haz to be able to try and hit some of these. He finally does after the, 4th or 5th try. But again, it's still going to be another round going the way of East Anglia, and they have probably enough already as far as Bath is concerned.
Yeah, definitely it's going to require some serious miracle plays if we're going to see Bath walk away with this, but put that thought to bed as East Anglia take the round yet again. Definitely looking a lot more confident than they were. And this is definitely looking rough for Bath. They were looking like maybe they were ready to get into the tub, but maybe the water just a little bit too hot. East Anglia fully in control of the taps here.
Yeah, look at these shots from F22. Towards Lamps, and there we go. Haz with the Sheriff headshots as well from Heaven. I didn't know we actually had these awesome replays. There we go. So thank you, production. But see Maximus able to find the frag at the end to try and secure the other round for East Anglia. And now back to the live pictures.
Even if he didn't get it, he had his Jade sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
They could have rezzed it if they really felt like it, but staring down 2 guns, definitely not the side of the barrel that you want to be on as Bath.
Yeah, not at all. East Anglia, well, they lose 1 member early on. That was a peek through a long. Did result in a kill for University of Bath, and now all prepared to try and defend this B take, because F22 and the Cypher on the side of East Anglia trying to make short work of this bomb site. And, well, there's Haz. He's been able to find the frag. He tries to send a couple of abilities through himself. It's Trish's breach action through the walls here on the B side of Bind. Dargon up close. And will orbital strike onto the site. Not going to do too much in the grand scheme of things. And now that spike plant can come through from East Anglia, or can it? There's the well-timed peek that cancels that one. as Bath trying their best to hold on to this B bomb site. And this is the best, the best of times that they've had so far on this site. And there's the response from East Anglia. They decide to back out of it. They take the teleporter to A, and that does give the chance though for Bath to get the res.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of carelessness on the side of UEA there. There was definitely a far out plant. A good peak timing nonetheless, but definitely a very far out plant on their side. Definitely knowing that they have a couple of rounds that they can throw away before going into the halftime. They'd have to play perfect in order to seal things out.
This later, Rocket not quite going to zoo as much as he thought it would. Spike taking down away, F22. Great little peek there. Another kill for East Anglia. F22, just these alternate peaks from East Anglia, just completely decimating the University of Bath retake there. And East Anglia, another one onto the board for them. Seemingly, after that little bit of a shaky period where they dropped a couple of rounds, it seems like they are back in business.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see too much of a change here in the way the tempo is going between these two teams. It's been very, very obvious that the East Anglia side are very comfortable in what they're doing. And they know that they just need to do this a couple more times to basically secure this first map. Because there's not much that Bath can do unless they start playing out of their mind and start maybe answering back for the flawless of their own. I don't see just this war of attrition flipping to the side of our game of Bath boys.
Has though. A couple of great kills on the A-bomb site, and that's another one to add to his name. Tries to go for more, but gets swiftly cut down by the Sage. And, well, Bath, again, they're having a couple of better rounds coming into the latter portion of this first half, but they haven't quite been able to convert them. East Anglia, again, sort of second-guessing themselves. Maximus, the only player left alive here on the attacker side, up against two plates, getting closed in on from behind. Will the Brim be able to find him? You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen, and it was only a matter of time before that flank happened.
Yeah, I've been taking a peek at chat. They're obviously a little bit behind us, but they are sending the energy the way of the defenders. They surely needed it as we now see the side swap. Bath now going to be trying their hand at offense.
Yeah, they will. So maybe this results in a little bit of a better time for Bath. We'll just have to wait and see. Although University East Anglia, when you have this sort of advantage coming into the second half, then you just need those couple of rounds to take you over the finish line. So even if this isn't their better side, it still should be a bit of an easier time for East Anglia because the pressure's kind of off them at this stage. The pressure starts to ramp up as soon as you get closer and closer to match point. But at the moment, East Anglia shouldn't be worrying too much. Although I say that, you shouldn't also to start to become a little bit complacent because that gives the opportunity then for Bath to come straight back at them.
Yeah, this is a really, really important round for Bath because if they can at least start the first round with a W, it gives them the sense of hope that maybe they can turn things around now that they're playing the offense. A decisive defensive win here for East Anglia, I think, should be the final nail in the coffin for our Bath side.
So a potentially crucial pistol round on the cards. Bath seemingly showing no commitment to either side of the map at the moment. They have that spike just sort of towards their spawn at the moment, so they're going to soon clump up and decide to go for an all-out attack somewhere. But East Anglia, they're being very disciplined at the moment. That's something I noticed throughout their offensive half. Is that they just didn't give away early kills. They didn't give away easy kills and early peaks. They were just very, very disciplined. They always using that buddy system that we talk about in Counter-Strike, especially to try and work around the map, make sure those trades are available. And now, though, Bath, they're going out onto the A-bomb site. The smokes are down. There's almost a timing window there where a couple of kills could have come through before those brimstone smokes came down. But still, no kills. Well, now the kills come through, this time for East Anglia. There's the response, though, from the Brim. Spike taking down away now.
Beth is basically keeping his team in the round here as he gets a fourth to his name. Patience was a virtue, but unfortunately gonna drop. So he's gonna have to leave it to his teammate to clutch out the round now.
Yeah. Dargon here. That spike is ticking down oh so low though, and now Dargon able to stick the defuse. Should be able to get that one absolutely fine. The defenders do take it, so there we go. University of East Anglia picking up that defensive pistol round, and yeah, like you said, now this is the point where Bath kind of just have to be thinking about that second map, because it's very, very unlikely he'll be able to come back to him from here.
Yeah, it's a rough one, but at the very least, one saving graces. They went on the end of a flawless. It was looking rough for a brief period before Beppis decided that enough was enough and he was going to even things out. So at least a little bit of cash being picked up there, despite the deficit. But yeah, like you said, this map is more or less finished. It's just going through the motions now.
Look at this, though.
Lap rounds left to go.
Look at this, though, from East Anglia. They've just triple pushed through towards B, and actually it will be punished a bit from Bath. So East Anglia, you gotta be careful at this stage, because otherwise maybe things will start to turn. But Maximus trying to stabilize for his team here. 2 versus 2, and East Anglia, another kill. So Maximus, starting to clean up at the moment, doing a good job of it. But that could have so easily gone oh so wrong for East Anglia there. That was a bit of an out there play with that triple push, but they were able to convert the round regardless. So, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but you can just so easily see how things could have easily gone the other way.
Yeah, for sure. The value that Marmus got was definitely what helped keep them after they were surprised by how inefficient that push was. So it's just moments of brilliance from certain members from UEA that just keep them in it. Whenever they make what should be fatal mistakes, there's always someone there as that guardian angel's like, don't worry, guys. You guys go have fun. I'll clean up the dishes. Make sure everything's nice and safe.
Yeah, that's seemingly what he's have to do right there. But Bath, it's going to be a very long shot from here to be able to take this first map. So it's looking likely that East Anglia will lead the series 1-0. They just have to pick up 2 more rounds, though, to be able to make that happen.
Playing it slow.
Yeah, it's very, very slow. Again, East Anglia, like I said, on their offensive. On their defensive, not wanting to push in this round. Of course, we saw the example against that in the previous with that triple push through B, but it seems like they've returned to form.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. Like, they know that this is pretty much in the bag, and all they have to do is not throw it away. And playing the defense is the best way to do that. They obviously have to wait for the attackers to come to them unless they are at the wrong site. So they just do what they're good at, and which is click heads before they get clicked themselves. You can already see they now have the numbers advantage.
They do. Bath trying to take control of Hooker. The slow orb will mean that's a very arduous process, but they will be able to get it done. The Sova arrow reveals nothing towards long, so they know this is going to be a one-dimensional attack if it comes through, and it does, but Alifak is able to keep things in his team's favor with the help of his teammates from the site. So with that timer getting down very, very low, it looks like we're going to get ourselves 2 match points for University of East Anglia. We were thinking this was going to be a close game, evidently not.
Well, maybe we're going to see the reverse from Bath. Maybe this wasn't how they wanted their Bath setup. They're going to add the bubbles, come back in a fresh map, their map pick. And maybe it might have been some research on the side of UEA, picking a strong opening map for them, or maybe one that's weak for Bath. But since Bath did actually get to pick the second map, we would hope that we see a slightly better game from them, at the very least.
You hope so. And in fact, it requires it, because that would be them out of the tournament. So right now, it's having to be, trying to recover at least something from this game. Just get a couple of rounds, of course, not expecting the win. And if you are expecting the win, then you have to come back to planet Earth, because I don't think you live in this reality. But East Anglia are just looking to clean it up now and take that confidence into the second map. First pick of the round goes their way. Orbital Strike comes through towards Lamps, but not able to connect there for Bath, so nothing going their way at the
Just want to
moment
point out
here.
that Jade has only just started moving from the bottom of the map. They were
Yeah.
pretty much AFK. Wasn't sure if they were still physically in it as well as mentally out of it. But we now do have movement. All 4 of the remaining players on the bar side are choosing to press W.
Yeah, you see, Bath, they're just waiting for these pushes that never come through from the East Anglian side. They're playing so far back, but East Anglia are not giving them the opportunities to try and get these opening picks and to get
Smoke
these
down.
sort of XV1s, so to speak. But now onto the A-bomb site, Bath decide to try and laboriously get that spike plant down and try and find something at the end of this game, but it looks like it's just going to be maybe denied from East Anglia, although Bath are giving up a good fight, but East Anglia, with all the frags towards the end of that round, are able to seal the deal. They take map number 1. They go 1-0 in this series, a 13-3. Wow.
Definitely not the scoreline we were expecting as we were coming into this. This is a masterclass on the side of our number 1 seed, Rocket Esports, putting the pedal to the metal here in game 1. We're going to actually be throwing to a quick break whilst we sort things out, just to make it a little bit easier to cast on our side. So make sure to not go anywhere. I see the subs have been rolling in. Dissociation been gifting a couple. Much appreciated for all the support. And if you haven't already hit the follow button for UK Uni Valorant, make sure to do so and follow us on all the various socials.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. But what a convincing first map there for Rootkit Esports. They didn't even have those that much of a blowout in their game up against the one of the Portsmouth teams in the quarterfinals that was actually seeded much lower than Bath. So yeah, the Bath really need to find something in this second map. Otherwise, this will be a very, very quick series and a very quick broadcast. But with that, we'll get some of our stuff sorted. We'll be back with map 2 in just a little bit.
pistol round. It was a blowout on the side of UEA, but at the very least we got a trade, so no flawless coming out for the first round here as UEA picks up 2.
Yeah, they do, and Spike Plant is able to come through. And wow, Bepis from the back lines takes out 1 and now swings around, tries to take yet more fights, but are these taps connecting? Not quite directly onto the head, but Bepis trying to push forward now. Through the smoke he goes, he finds another one. Bepis, he's trying to cut down East Anglia here, and he's doing a good job at it, and well, he has his teammate there to back him up as well. Vistonita gets the final kill of the round, and Bath will be able to secure the pistol round. What a change from that previous map.
Bepis was one of our standout fraggers from the previous map. We saw one of the ones that didn't go the way of Bath, but he definitely showed that he was not going to go quietly into the night, making an excellent opening statement here for the first round. Signs of life from Bath. Hopefully, they're going to be getting things in their favor. So they're going to need all the help they can get to even up this mountain that they have to climb against that is the #1 seed of Rookie Esports.
Yeah, but it starts now. Like I said, they've gotten a good result here in the opening pistol round, and they'll be able to continue on forwards. I'm not entirely sure why the scoreline still says 0-0, but rest assured, it is a round going the way of the University of Bath. But those will be sorted out relatively shortly. Look at this little awkward angle for Vistonita right on top of the door, waiting for that push to come through, but not going to at the moment. It's a bit of a stalemate. If Valorant had X-ray, you would be able to see the player on the other side of the door there, but not going to push just yet with that shotgun. And well, it's Dargon on the other side of the door there. Just a Mexican standoff.
It's going to be interesting, like, because we're going to, if they're disciplined enough to keep to this, it's going to require somebody to make a play. So we're going to be seeing who's going to be the wingman here that's going to help set up that first kill in the doors. Or maybe we see a rotation to a different character that maybe gives them the ability to see things, as we're now starting to see movement.
Oh, Vistonita, well, the angle on top of the door is only able to be good enough for 1 kill, but where do East Anglia go off of this one? They've been able to secure control of C window. Do they go through C short to that C bomb site where 2 players lie in wait? OT Kick2's been able to find 1. There's the response, though, from Bepis. Frags all over the place. 15 seconds left remaining. That spike is still nowhere near a bomb site. In fact, it's been lost, and Bath are able to hold on once again. This time with 2 players remaining. A lot of time being winded down at the early stages there with the execute with about 30 seconds left remaining. But as soon as that take doesn't go smoothly there for East Anglia, they just kind of collapsed and panicked with 10 seconds remaining.
One of the things I do want to point out, I guess, when we saw, whilst they were getting rolled over and smoked in the first game, Bath were relatively patient when it came to some of their defenses and offenses. It was more poor positioning that got them blown up early on for those opening picks. So that patience definitely came to a head there in that game. As we saw that they were willing to sit there and time out the entire round if they needed to.
Halifax, early fight towards a long will be won out, but there's been kills all over the place elsewhere. Bepis with 1 for his team before going down. So it does mean the man advantage does go with East Anglia. They'll position themselves towards the A-bomb site. There's the recon dart through, showing there's no one at very close angles on that site, but they still have to check the back of it, and RTJ will go down. He was the only player to be able to try and defend that A-bomb site, so the spike plant is pretty secure at this stage. 4 players left in the post plant here for East Anglia, 2 on the side of Bath, and looks like they'll have a little bit of an explore here with Bath coming through window and through the door itself, the CT door, but looks like Dargon and, well, there's a bit of a crossfire here. All intents and purposes, there's a wall off on the heaven as well, so there's no route in from that position, and as a result, the Bath side have just decided to take the save.
Yeah, I respect this. This was another one of those situations where we see the attackers get set up on the spike plant site very, very early and basically get to flip it on the defenders' heads. It's like, look at me, I am the defender now. Challenge Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Such a cool visual every time.
Yeah, it's pretty nice as well. And it's good to see those sort of hard borders of where it kills you and where it doesn't. Maybe some other games can take inspiration for that. But heading on to the next round then, round number 4. As Bath have been able to find 2 at the very start, but the response in that one from East Anglia will mean they get off the mark. So they're not stuck on 0 rounds like Bath were in the early stages of map number 1. So already looking at, like, at this early stage, it will be a bit of a closer affair. Weapons, rifles, whatever you want on the every single side. Oh, F-22 just about able to get away from that. But look at those kills from Bath, able to capitalize on the distraction of the orbital strike. And all of a sudden, East Anglia down to 2 players, and there's only 30 seconds gone in the round.
All right, so we said that maybe the attackers were going to take up a defensive things. Like, look at me, I'm the defender now. The defenders decided, 2 can play at that game. It's our time to play offense on defense. Very cheeky opening on the side of Bath.
Very cheeky indeed. Sitting. I'll smoke. Towards the window will give has a little bit more space to work with. But at the moment, the ball is in East Anglia's court. They're the ones that need to make the play. A little bit of a peek towards C. F-22 around the edge of the smoke. Can't win the gunfight with Haz, though. He just cuts him down with the Sheriff. And now it's Dargon left all alone. 1 versus 4. 40 seconds left on the clock. He has the spike on his person. So at least every little helps in this situation. But still 4 more players to find. And now his location will be known. Thanks to the spam through the box. And now he's just going to walk straight into the welcoming hands of Haz at the very tight angle. So, Bath, this is looking so much more positive.
Yeah, they're doing basically everything right here. You're seeing even when they were relocating, closing in on Dargon, they weren't the ones peeking. He set up a nice defensive position, decided, like, you're going to have to come to me if you're going to want to make this plant. And even on the round they lost, they showed the discipline to not try and force the issue, and instead just take an L when they needed to take an L. Bath looking much more complete as a team here on this game too.
Next round. Oh, the early raise ult towards mids is not going to connect onto any unfortunate souls. Believe me, I've been a big a big victim of those raise rockets early on, and it's just the most tilting thing in the universe. But the early kill does go the way of East Anglia at the moment. And, well, that's one they really did need, and that's another one for Cypher as well. And Maximus pushing in towards the C-bomb site. The rotation has already come through from Bath, and it will be sorted out. Mr. Obvious goes down. Spike plant in progress. And, well, here comes the breach then. Haz trying to make a play coming through towards window. Alifat goes down. So at least there's something there for Bath to work with on this retake, but it's a 4 versus 2. And the wall towards the back of C is going to be a bit of a problem. And in fact, they might decide to back off of this. Yep, there's the body language. Haz has already had enough of this round, and he'll have his Cypher in tow as well.
So East Anglia are able to keep this close. Definitely those early picks working out in their favor in order to sort of just smother the defense and force them to back off. So unfortunately, Bath aren't able to really get a lead, but at the very least, they are keeping the scoreline in their favor. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing some more statement rounds from them, as we did see them try and go for the ult strat straight away. Hopefully, they cool off on it now that it hasn't worked twice in a row, and maybe go back to that sort of slower, more defensive play style that doesn't rely on a risky opening positioning.
Sneak look at the scoreboard. Bepis, top of Bath. See Maximus on the Cypher, top of East Anglia. And those are the 2 players that have really been making the impact, not just in this map, but in map number 1 as well. It was Bepis, one of the only players on Bath that was, having at least a decent time. And it seems like he's being able to convert that into this map as well. And the rest of his team have stepped up around him. So Bath a lot more competitive in this one. But East Anglia showing that they're certainly a force to be reckoned with, as if that first map didn't prove it already. But on Haven, they're keeping things competitive. And if they're able to bring the scoreline level here, that would just be another piece of evidence to that fact, as they'll collapse towards the A-bomb site. Short control being gained, long control. Cypher, the only player on the site, has the camera up to spot towards long to try and get an early warning signal, so to speak. OT Cookie pushing his way through, completely catches the Cypher off guard. And that is very quickly the A-bomb site secure for East Anglia. They're just working on getting that spike plant down. The smokes towards the back of site, the slow orb, the wall, everything is just being thrown back there to try and deny Bath getting themselves back in.
That was a rough one for sure, because it definitely looked like things were going to go Bath's way there, but unfortunately just getting blindsided by that shot, putting the number advantage straight in East Anglia's favor, giving them a very, very quick plant. Now, playing from that heaven side, but they're gonna have to back off Sova's ult. He's one.
Oh, trades. East Anglia still with the numbers advantage though. 2 players left remaining for Bath as they've been able to find themselves out on towards the site, but now they're down to 1. Just the raise on low HP to try and clutch this one out. Won't happen as far as Alifak is concerned. He will die to the spike though. But still, that is the round for East Anglia once again. So they instantly respond here. They get themselves up to level pegging with Bath. And this first half is shaping up to be a pretty exciting one, all things considered. Bind was certainly a very one-sided affair. But this time around, it seems like both teams stepping up to the plate. But looking at the buys right now, both teams able to get rifles out there still. So no one going down onto the save buy just yet.
It's really unfortunate the way that last round ended, as it could have gone either way, but with the timer on the spike being so low, University of Bath definitely had to play more aggressive than I'm sure they would have liked, which resulted in those picks going the way of East Anglia. This is definitely more what we wanted to see, a much more competitive game between the two, even scoreline as we go into round 7. Not the blowout.
Look at this, RTJ. Oh, he could have done so much from that position, but East Anglia was so methodical with checking the angles. They had at least a suspicion that he'd pushed all the way up, and they are able to find him. So now they can get this A-site offensive in full swing. There's been a little bit of time for Bath to get these rotations in, and in fact they have found 1 kill, but 1 kill is not quite going to cut it here. They're down to 2 members only, and one of them on the flank through spawn, but they will be spotted out. So it looks like this is going to be yet another save here for Bath. They can't really justify going for this one, especially since they haven't had the best of times in terms of the money recently.
Yeah, this makes sense. Unfortunately, this does mean they are going to sacrifice their winning position in terms of the score, and they're going to be playing from behind here. It's a reminder for those that aren't looking at the scoreboard already. They are trailing after the blowout that was the first map, so definitely not the situation they want to find themselves in. So they hold up here in the corner to make sure that East Anglia don't find them. But you can see East Anglia was searching, seeing if they could get a pick on the way out.
Yeah, and you understand that considering the cash, because otherwise, well, I'm very interested to see what they do here. Looks like they're just gonna keep the money in their hands for the moment. I was also thinking you could justify perhaps a bit of a healthy force here. Maybe some of those players on higher cash able to drop buy rifles for their teammates, but it looks like that's not going to be the option that they're going to go for. But otherwise, you know, if East Anglia were able to find those extra kills at the end of the round, that wouldn't even be an option for them, the force buy. So, but still, doesn't matter. They're on the save for the rest of those players that didn't keep their rifles. RTJ at this tight angle. Maximovs is going to check it and completely domes the opposite Cypher. That's so unfortunate. RTJ's having a pretty rough time in this game so far, and he had a pretty rough time on Bind as well, all things considered. So, pretty tough series for Cypher main.
Definitely feeling like an all brain, no aim sort of situation. He's in the right position, but isn't able to clean up with isn't able to find those crosshairs over the right head.
Yeah, I haven't had much of a problem with his positioning. Yeah, it's just the shot's not quite landing. And of course, there was a bit of talk during the break where I think one of his teammates said he was on a hotspot, like a 4G hotspot. So I mean, that could be contributing. So
McDonald's Wi-Fi recently opened back up. He's sitting in his favorite spot to get juiced up and ready to play in the semis.
I mean, that will affect him a little bit, but Mr. Obvious trying to hold on to the Sheriff, but he'll be getting closed in on, and East Anglia able to put another one onto the board. So they got the steamroll going. They've got the ball rolling, shall we say, as is probably the better term to use, and looking to have the lion's share of the rounds here on this attacking half. But I would say, would you say that Haven is more of an attack side map or defender side map? Because I've seen some contention up to which it is. Because of course you have you have 3 bomb sites to defend on the defense, but you have fast rotations between all of them. So do those cancel out?
I personally have found that defensively, it's a map that I would prefer to be on this green side for, because as much as the rotations are fast, that with a lot of these CC options that the defenders have, they can sort of funnel.
It's just... Excuse me, I just interrupted that because they just completely and utterly disrespected the molly. They just held W all the way through it, and East Anglia are able to take the C sites. There's the ultimate from Haz, though. There's the orbital strike in response. He has to try and back away. He can't. Zargon has him with the ult. Now Vistinator trying to make a play through C short, but not going to happen for Bath as East Anglia add another one to their tally. But you were saying...
We're talking about funneling. How you could sort of funnel the attackers and maybe shut off one of the sites and maybe funnel the attackers to one. And University of East Anglia were quite happy to take that funnel. They were like, if you're going to set out this roller coaster for it, we best enjoy it to our best, the best of our ability. And they made sure to get every bang for their buck. Cleaning up Bath, they might want to rethink how they choose to do the defense here. So you see they're completely disregarding A, which is something that I saw a lot, either fully disregarding one of the sites as we open up the Brimstone ult again.
Yeah, interesting. Actually, this might result in a bit of a positive round here for Bath. 3 frags early on with the aggressive push through the double doors. Dargon will try to stabilize for his team, though, and Dargon continuing to try and find these frags, but he's not able to. Has his number. And Maximus, the only player left alive here for East Anglia, can't do much or anything, just the one. But Bath, with a surprising push, are able to take the round. So that really caught East Anglia napping.
Which is surprising because Beppis has been leading the scoreboard. Or, well, he was leading the scoreboard until that round, pretty much consistently. And he's been a bright spot for the Bath team. Say what you will about the rest of the team and how East Anglia is definitely pushing the momentum, but Beppis definitely lives rent-free inside their heads. He has had the read on their stack every single time with that Brimstone ult, and I'm just hoping that they don't do what they did last game and overextend with the Raze ult to start the round. Never mind.
They try it again, this time through main, but I don't think it's going to work as well, although Haz, with the 2 frags, makes it at least a little bit better in the favor of Bath there. They tried the same thing as they did on previous round, or rather a very similar thing, and it almost worked out for them just as well as it did in the previous. But now 2 versus 2, and East Anglia, they're walking through a short, just trying to secure that bomb site, but rotation's already there. The Raze inside of the upgrade. Oh, there we go. Artifact with the spray. And now it just leaves RTJ. He will be spotted out by the recon bolt as well, so he is going to have nothing to do with that. Hot footing away, and going to keep the Vandal in hand. I think that's the only thing he's hoping for at this stage, because he hasn't had the best of series, like I said before, and an attempted 1 versus 2 retake is perhaps a little bit too much to ask.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough one. You could see that both teams were sort of drifting towards that A site, and unfortunately RTJ looking for that split defense, making sure that he was at least watching the B site, meant that it was numerically not looking so hot for the defenders there. I think if they both committed to it and just decided that they were going to rush whichever side it was, if they ended up not being correct on the guess, would have been a safer choice. As we've said, RTJ not been having the best fragging moments so far, so trying to have them split against each other, definitely not the situation that I personally would have gone for. But at the very end, I am on this side of the this side of the microphone, and they are sitting pretty in that semifinals. So credit where credit is due.
Yeah, it does have to be said, but now we are on the final round of the first half. East Anglia, whichever way this round goes, they will lead into the second half. Early stack towards the A side of the map this time for Bath, and it's found 2 kills. There's the response. Both of those kills traded by the East Anglia side. So Bath are just trying to stack, every single point on the map, each and every round, trying to catch East Anglia off guard. But in this time around, it's resulted in an equal trade once again. It's a 2 versus 2. It seems like there's a bit of deja vu compared to the last round. But this time towards the A-bomb site, that's a great little kill, though, for the Rays, for Vistinator. And now it just leaves F22 on the Viper, and Vistinator finds him as well. And Asta does do it through the res of the Sage, which is interesting, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely thought that some friendly fire had come out there, even though not possible.
I was going to say, like, I never quite see that. I was just like, I wonder, I was wondering if the Sage res would actually block bullets, but apparently not.
I wonder if maybe at the very least it lets friendly fire go through it. Maybe this is the strat. You unsacrifice someone to give them the free shot. Innovation here from Bar.
Well, they've taken a pretty interesting approach to this defensive side so far, so I wouldn't be entirely surprised with the theory grafting. But it looks like this is more of a standard setup now. They've decided not to stack up B, stack up A, whatever they've been doing over the last couple of rounds. They were returned to their normal default. And, this is, of course, the second pistol round, so that will be East Anglia on the defensive side, hence the normal defensive setup. So F22 with the opening pick for that side on the defensive. Still, Bath trying to work their way on towards the C-bomb site. Maximus finds one. F22 from the slightly elevated angle finds one, but RTJ with 2, Toti Cookie with 2 on his own, as well as those players tried to cross to the C-bomb site. So first pistol rounds going the way of the defenders. East Anglia able to get themselves up to 8-5 there on the scoreline. I don't think we've switched their names around, so I could quite possibly be wrong.
Yeah, for sure. But at the very least, it was another closer pistol round. Everyone just started dropping like flies after the first pick came out, but did go the way of the defenders. The first pick definitely was a lot earlier than I would have liked. Maybe getting caught out of position. We're seeing a lot more aggressive peeks here as the wallbang comes through. Oh, not even wallbang, sorry.
Oh, Maximus F22 with the 2K with the Marshall, and then pulls out the pistol to finish things off. So that was a pretty comfortable hold there from the defensive side, and that's going to be another round going their name. So they've had a positive start here, have OT Cookie and Co. But again, they need to get this one across the finish line.
Yeah, the pistol round might not have been as clean a win, but a flawless on the first round, making use of that economy. Definitely something that starts to put the wind in the sails of East Anglia as they try and put as much distance between them and Bath. Definitely looking stuck in the mud right now. They claw their way up to try and even up a 4-round deficit.
Early fight here. Oh, early fight towards long. RTJ finally finds it. There we go. He even goes for the BM spray into the body as well to make sure that he was 100% dead. But at the moment, the defensive side, at least at the start of this half, we're having a great time. But that's the first sign that the attackers have had that is a positive one. But the thing is, things turn on their head very, very quickly in this game sometimes. And Maximus and F22 proving that fact as they bring it back into their favor.
Yeah, and this is looking really, really solid for East Anglia. A little bit of the return to form. We've been seeing F22 pop off on the kill feed. It'll be interesting to see on the scoreboard to see who is actually leading there. There's a little bit of competition, not quite as clear cut as it is on the red side. And OT Cook now holding
Yeah.
outside of the slow orb.
We saw the same message at the same time. How fun was that? But there we go. Out on towards the site then. The defenders. East Anglia. Can they hold this? Can they get this defuse in? Is it being stuck there? Looks like it is. As looks like what are they doing? They just all backed off towards long, and just that one. I'm really confused as to how that round happened. Please save me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like if it was just
too early.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they felt like there was pressure coming from an angle that there wasn't. They were trying to rotate, but they just gave themselves complete line of sight and just got the full firing range there. Definitely very unfortunate for Bath, where even when they're trying to make the plays, it doesn't quite go their way. Hopefully they're not rattled, maybe recognizing that the gap between them is getting larger and they haven't won a round in a hot minute.
No, they haven't, and it looks like Dargon's just still trying to seal this one out. For his team to push through, though, will be cut down by OT Cook, and Obepis has been able to find two to make that unsecure for Bath, as he now tries to take the fight with the Viper as well. The Viper's gone, so Bath a much better round here in this instance. It looks like they'll be able to get to 6, but not unless Dargon has anything to say about it. Haz will be able to keep him quiet for now, but now it's a 1 versus 1. Alifak is going to be situated towards mid there. He sends that recon bolt in as well, but he has the operator up against the Bulldog on the other side, and, well, decides to change to the pistol instead, but that's not going to win him the round, as Haz makes sure he has absolutely no chance.
Honestly, very, very impressive showing from both players there. And you saw that Bath maybe just put Bepis in the wheel of the car to just drive us to wherever we need to go. Take us along for your wild ride. Kill the left side of the kill feed with our color. We need it.
Looks like the case for Bepis. Doing a good job in that round at least. But, it was finished off by Haz. Stanglia at 10. Bath up to 5 now. Still a relatively long road for Bath to come back into this one. And the early pick going the way of F22 to East Anglia. And again, there we go. Dargon pushing his way through as well. RTJ goes down early in addition to the other player. And here comes the push, though, through towards B. Bepis, can he do the heroics this time around? Yes, he can get the kill onto Cypher. And decides to back out of things, or at least try to, as he has to go through the cage and the smoke to be able to back away. But he's being able to do so successfully. And now, East Anglia, there's the push come through. There's the retreat in response. So Alifak just playing a little bit of shenanigans there with that push. But now, 3 versus 2 situation. Bath, they're at the numbers disadvantage. Both of them are heading themselves towards the long side of A, although they're just about to back out of this. They have time to go pretty much anywhere they want at this stage, and in fact, they decide to get the res as well. I think there was a call made that, guys, don't push onto A just yet. We still have the res.
Yeah, and I respect it. Like, they came back for Bepis, but unfortunately, OT Cook making sure this numbers advantage stays solely on the defender side.
Prepare for help.
Yeah, trying to get a time through as well. All 3 of the orbital strike there from Dargon just causes massive, massive issues there for Bath. Dargon holding on to that ult until the very right time. So despite all of his team getting stuck behind that Sage wall, the orbital strike does not respect walls and is able to clear them out.
Yeah, you show me a 6-foot wall. Brimstone shows you an infinity foot ladder as he drops the blaze from above. Unfortunately, Bath looking like a deer in the headlights, so they had no idea what was going on.
There's the replay of the fights there, as we're back to the live pictures, and already East Anglia have been able to find a frag, and, well, Bath is not going to be what they wanted to have happen, that's for certain. They're going to try towards the B bomb site once again. Maximus trying to defend this one, and he has been successful with the kill. There's the Cypher ult as well to reveal all the positions of the Bath side. Maximus continuing to swing around and finds a frag onto Haz. So
retrieved the
now
spike.
East Anglia starting to get back into gear then. And
Down you go.
oh, there's one for Bath though. There's a cheeky little pick. Bepis just being a bit of a nuisance here at the moment, and he's being pretty devastating as well.
I do like the resources that are being pumped into keeping Memphis under wraps. And you can see whenever he's left alone, unfortunately dropping there the caster's curse, but whenever he's left alone, he's definitely been a thorn in the side of East Anglia. So you saw like the Viper trail being put down just to try and chip some health off of him, make sure that any firefight that he takes isn't a fair one.
Yeah, so there we go. There's East Anglia's round though. They're up to map and series point. So this has been a very, very quick series. Again, the opposite to what we expected here in this one. East Anglia have really, really shown up to this semi-final. Here's a replay of how the last round went.
Down
And
you go.
Bepis, like I said, being a bit of a nuisance, finding these frags for Bath, but it just hasn't quite been enough to get his team rounds on the board. And they've only had one round in this entire second half so far. So not having the best of times here on the offensive, and now they need to win 6 in a row to take it to that one and only overtime round. The orbital strike towards the window early on, and well, just about able to back away. And now here comes Bath then towards the B-bomb site. They break the wall down, and it's just this 5-man push all the way through. Can OT Cook hold?
know
No, he
exactly
can't.
where
He goes down. He was one of the only defenders of this B site. And now Bath look to try and get that spike plant down. East Anglia not in too much of a rush to get back in, but now F22 with a couple of frags is able to make that possible. Responded though by Mr. Obvious. East Anglia 2 players remaining. University of Bath on 3. In fact, this plant will come through on the C site instead of B. And now East Anglia, do they just decide to take the easy option and save and play the round advantage, or do they want to end this one early? Oh.
Yeah, with a play like that, I think that we have decided we're going to be going for an all-out brawl here for this potential final map.
Done. There we go. Defusers come in. There we go. All the kills have happened already. Defuse. There we go. And that is going to be the round and the match for University of East Anglia. What a convincing series from them. That was nothing short of an absolute bloodbath in East Anglia's favor. That was absolutely incredible, and they're proving why they're the top seed coming into this one.
Yeah, like Bath definitely showed like moments of brilliance. They definitely showed why they made it to the semifinals with some of their plays, especially Bep as a standout player with some of the plays that he was making. But just a cut above is East Anglia's Rootkit Esports.
Yeah, and you can see on the rounds, on the match-ending scoreboard, the 2 brimstones on the top of the pile. Dargon, Bepis. F22 had a very, very good game as well, as he didn't have to do a lot on binds, but what he did do was pretty competent, and then he decides to show up inside of this map as well. But we will be getting ourselves a player interview in just a couple of moments. It looks like we'll be getting Dargon as the top fragger in that previous match to come and talk to us from the side of East Anglia. But look at that, Rootkit Esports 2, Gamer Guy Bathwater 0, showing that it's not as valuable of a commodity, I suppose.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think we're going to be seeing a slightly saltier bathwater, some tears mixed into this special brew. But, you know, at the very least, top 4, nothing to sneeze at. They do have the bronze medal match that will be taking place at another date. But I think we have to.
There we go. We do actually have Dargon inside of our virtual commentary booth. As I hate when people say virtual when it comes to esports related things, but I just did it for the meme. But Dargon, if you can unmute your microphone, that would be absolutely fantastic. And well, it was a very convincing series for you and your team. Just take me through it, because we were expecting a closer game. Were you expecting a closer game?
We didn't know what to expect. Obviously, they went undefeated in their groups or whatever, but like seeing most of the teams in the groups, it's not exactly that difficult. Like, no offense to any other teams, but it's like we've seen teams go undefeated that like just don't have the potential at a higher level. Well, not like high level, but just our standards, I guess. I think it was Sussex last week who got knocked out and they were undefeated. to Portsmouth, who are in our group. So it's a bit, you can never really tell too much. So we didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, and that is basically the next higher seed now out of the competition. Of course, in that grand final, you'll be up against either Portsmouth Paladins or Tormon's Tank Engines, which is the best team name, one of the best team names that I've ever seen. But with that match going on right now, it's actually in its third map, I believe. Which team would you actually want to face in the grand finals, Portsmouth or the children's program?
I think Portsmouth have the bigger reputation. Obviously, all their players are high-level CS players. Like we know most of their players from CS. Obviously, we played them in groups, and it was quite a close game. I believe they may have had a couple of subs, so you never know what happened in the final. Obviously, we haven't played against Tomin's Tank Engines, so we're not too sure what to expect. They've been doing quite well, so just either way it goes, we'll just be happy to play the winner. Hopefully, it'll be a decent game.
If it is Portsmouth, though, do you feel like you've learned from the one game you've played against them, typically how they play, or is it just going to be still a big unknown for you into that?
I think the first game we played against him was like I think it was in like the first day of the tournament or something. So I think since then, like the meta's developed, like every team's developed. I think in that game, most of us, like both teams, were mainly just run around, shoot each other. Like I know a lot of them are CS players; they just have the raw aim. Their util wasn't the best. I'm expecting that to have improved if they've been grinding Valorant. I'm not sure how much they've been playing compared to CS, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, the UK has had a pretty good time in Valorant so far, with the UK CS boys being top of the pile so far in some of the more professional competitions. But do you think coming into this game from places like Counter Strike, do you think it's going to end up being a more popular game in the UK? Just not even talking about this game, this match in particular, but Valorant as a whole. Is it going to be more prevalent than CS is in the next couple of years? Do you think?
I think it just depends on how the like pro scene develops. Obviously, it's quite hard to tell at the moment because there's just a load of online tournaments. Obviously, it's still in beta. Once it actually releases, I feel like it has the potential to be like more inviting to a wider range of players. So, like Overwatch players may come over. You've seen like Apex players come over, like all kind of things. So and at the moment, it's a lot of the CS players coming over just because they have the chance of like, well, they have the same playtime scale of everyone else. Like where there's pros that have been playing CS for 20 years, obviously it's a new game. Transferable skills they can obviously be good at start. So I
Although,
think it just depends if they continue to be on top, that the CS players will stay or move back to CS, and depends like obviously the potential in the esports scene, like the pricing and stuff.
yeah. So unless Elixir, you have a question, then we can probably move on.
No, I'm pretty much good. Actually, one last one, Dargon. Obviously, you did top the scoreboard, but if you had an MVP besides yourself, for your team, who do you think it would be?
I would have to go for Maximus. He's been IGL in most of the games, core in most of the strats, and also just a really solid player in general. So I'd have to give it to Maxi.
Yeah,
Well,
good
there we
stuff.
go. There we go. Maxi is Dargon's MVP in that particular game. But with that series over and done with, though, we're not actually done with the stream just yet, because we're actually going to go over and cast map number 3 of that other semi-final. So join us in just a couple of minutes for that. But we'll see you then.
Overthinking, lost my mind. Push my head to overdrive. Overthinking, lost my mind. Overdrive.
Don't pause, press play. Don't pause. Don't pause, press play. Don't pause, press Don't pause, press play.
fought. And I don't want to be you pushed up as well in this position. Voltos goes down. So an aggressive little stance there from Portsmouth University have been able to net themselves a couple of kills early on in this round. Southampton looking to try and readjust towards that C-bomb site. Warpig is here, ready and waiting to fight. Chris on inside of Long as well, trying to take the gunfight with Hanno, and well, Hanno will go down. Warpig with one of his own, and again, these just awkward firefights on this A-bomb site. It does leave Calix as the last player left alive on the University of Southampton's side. He has the spike on his back. He will get stunned up by the breach, though, but there's no peaks behind that to be able to capitalize on it. And now you can see them just trying to hold it down. Calix, he might as well go for the plant here. They're not going to go and push him down. And so, while he steps out, spike has been planted, but it's not going to matter. It's just the extra money in the bank account. That is going to be it. And Portsmouth get one more.
This is more like something we were talking about earlier in the broadcast of the ability to funnel in this type of map with the 3 lanes. As soon as the number advantage was on the side of the defenders, they got to dictate very much how the map was played. You could see that they were pushing aggressively through B in order to try and kite round to either A or C, and then sort of retreated out once a decision had been made, saying that B is off limits to you, don't even try it. This is now a 2-lane map where we have the ability to rotate very, very fast through that midpoint.
Yep, they do. There's a look at the scoreboard then. Karma top of the pile for the Portsmouth side. I don't want to be you. Close in line. Again, another awkward little fight between B main and the window. Just trading bits of chip damage. There's the wall going to come through from Faith. Yep, he's going to put that one up. And well, the stun from the breach does come through. But there we go. Here come the fights on the B-bomb site. As Southampton try to work their way in, they found the 1 kill to open things up. Where's the response, though, from Portsmouth? That is the question. How are they going to be able to get themselves back in here? Looks like they're trying to flood in towards the B-bomb site, but there the kills coming through finally there from Portsmouth. 3 in very quick succession, and now Calix is the only player left alive, and he is not long for this server either. So a bit of a confusing altercation inside of B, but it's well, the result is the exact same as the previous couple of rounds. Portsmouth once again able to find the retake. So 3 spike plants for Southampton, but 3 defuses for Portsmouth.
And this is honestly, it's giving me the remember the name lyrics sort of things, where there's just a little bit of luck involved in here with some skill. The wall coming up right before the flash went off, so basically was unhampered, and the CC had been spent. Definitely, if there's a little bit slower on that wall, we might be seeing a different scoreline where the offense was able to get in. We saw I Don't Want to Be You able to get 1 pick, but quickly traded out as the entire neighborhood block arrived at his doorstep.
Yeah, Faith punished with the push through double doors. Hanno, another one to his name as well. So Southampton looking a little bit better in this. But oh, look at that, though, from Talent. A good couple of kills to be able to bring the numbers more even, and in fact in his team's favor now. Talon just holding things down for Portsmouth despite the positive start to the round for Southampton. Southampton again still trying to deal with Talon, and Talon just cutting them all down. He finally gets dealt with, though, by the Sova. Now 1 versus 1, and well, Calix, the man that has to try and recover the spike. He has to try and cross back, though, not being watched on that cross back. Sends the recon dart in to try and sell more presence towards the C-bomb site, but Karma's in an okay position here, but it all depends on where Calix decides to go. If he runs all the way A here, then it's a pretty long rotate for that Phoenix.
Yeah, and you can see up at the top the health bars on these 2 players.
Oh, he's going to go straight into him.
Oh, is he looking the right way, though? Is he backing across the door? What are you doing?
Oh, that's so unfortunate there from Karma. He was watching those doors for what seemed like an eternity, but the moment he turns around, that's when Calix decides to make his way through, and it was an easy kill for the Sova. So now Southampton are able to get themselves off the mark, but Karma must be so tilted from that.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough one. Like, he was almost like tracking him through the wall, but never had like an angle in order to take the shot. And the moment he second guesses himself and puts his back up against the wall is just like right on cue. Just it all falling apart there, doing nearly everything correctly. But even though it wasn't a win on their side, definitely a standout play from Talon, keeping the team mostly economy-wise, picking up the cash before he dropped.
The dart onto Voltos. I mean, he has to try and pull that one out. There's the kill, though, on the Cypher. Just swings it and able to find the bullets, find the body. But now you can see there's a pushed up positioning for Portsmouth towards sort of double doors side of mid. So they have that little bit of map control. So Southampton are going to really struggle if they decide to head this way, unless they're able to check those positions. Again, all of just the entry there to the B side just completely denied due to all the delay that Portsmouth have. Oh, the flash through. That is Tom dead. Yeah, that's a perfect breach flash.
Prepare for hellfire.
And here, the Hellfire being set up, it's going to land. Dragon Spike going to come. Actually, no one.
I have the spike.
No. 3 versus 3 still. It's a bit of an awkward altercation inside of A. There's the Raze ult that has come out as well. There's the Breach with his own Rolling Thunder. So all the ults being deployed in this particular round. Calyx holds down the push coming through, though. Voltos is here to try and find the other one, and he does. Karma goes down, and the attackers do pick up another round. So Southampton up to 2 now as they try to respond to that 3-round winning streak that Portsmouth were able to pull off early.
Able to dust themselves off of the 3 straight diffusers. Honestly, they could have been on the end of 4 straight diffusers if it wasn't for the unfortunate watch of Karma. And hopefully he can get himself still in it. We haven't been able to see too much from the Phoenix since that 4th round. But still a nice juicy cushion, slowly being encroached on, but still very much there. The padding of 1 round still in their favor.
No presence towards A early on, though, for Southampton in this. Focused instead towards mainly C at the moment, but they haven't decided to take all that much mid-control either. So playing relatively passive in this round. The Aldrome from the Sova will at least gain a little bit of info towards those double doors.
But
so Calyx knows someone resides in that.
Look at the aggressive positioning of the camera. It has been dealt with now, but the fact that he was able to get that far in and basically say is like A is off limits here. We're looking at either B or C.
Oh, the Rolling Thunder's good, though, onto C site, but can Southampton capitalize on it? Looks like they have been able to do so. Portsmouth forced into the retake situation. Karma, though, with the Sheriff, takes out the Sova, and he's able to heal up as well, thanks to his hot hands. And Warpig able to cut him down to size, though, and there's the response, though, from Chris. Warpig continuing on that spam through. Here comes I Don't Wanna Be You, catches out the Breach with abilities out. And Southampton, can they hold this post-plant here? That's the question against the Cypher of Chris. He taps the defuse, spots one out towards Long Cubby. He knows exactly where his opponent is. He starts to close in. Hano has the aim, though, to be able to try and defend that. The attackers do take the round. Southampton, they do bring it level.
It was good to Hano stay alive, though, because we were looking at a pretty much no-win situation for Chris. The easiest shot in the world if he did go for the defuse, and obviously if he didn't go for the defuse, you can't win the round as the defenders. So tried to force the issue, maybe at least walk out with some cash if he was going to be dropping the round. But good stuff from Southampton, able to clutch out their answering 3. They recognize that, you know, people are human. If they are going to answer 3 straight rounds to you, you can do it straight back.
It's also 6 spike plants in a row. Every single round has had the spike plant happen. So, oh, look at this push, though, from Karma. He's got himself in towards the window position on the defensive side. So he can really leverage this round to his team's advantage, and he's already been able to find a kill from it as well. So Karma, with the aggressive play towards mid-window, has been able to bring this round into his team's favor so far. Chris doing some short whip with the operator. Calyx trying to take the fight there, but it just doesn't happen for him. Karma with another one. So Portsmouth looking to try to take this round pretty convincingly here. Very well negotiated aggression there. The Portsmouth Southampton side just not expecting that Phoenix to jump into the window, and it's just caused so much damage. Faith cleans up Tom, and now Hanno left in the 1 versus 5. 2 frags, but not quite going to be all 5 for that player. So defenders do take the round, and Portsmouth, they're back ahead.
Definitely trying to make sure that no team gets too much momentum here, as each side sort of taking their turn being the dominant side, as it looks like it has flipped back over to Portsmouth even. But this means that we're not going to see that runaway train that we've potentially missed in the first 2 games. Both teams making the adjustments needed to make sure they don't crash out in a blaze of glory and end up playing for 3rd place rather than the grand prize.
Yeah, that's the game they don't want to be in. They want to be in the grand final, but Southampton looking to try and get an early push towards A here. The Cypher camera will spot them out. Chris, though, I'm not entirely sure that was the intentional Cypher cage as he tries to get an angle around the side of it. But look at this, though, from Votos. Finds one with the Sheriff and able to pick up a rifle as well to be a little bit more potent in this round. So Southampton, what are they going to do here? Oh, the ult, though, from Karma. He's been able to find 2 with the run it back. There's the 3rd as well. Karma, what an insane 3K there to secure that for Portsmouth. My word.
Karma living up to his name, being like the pendulum. There wasn't anything to come and claim. Maybe needed to throw away a couple of rounds so that way Karma could come and collect his dues as he puts himself back at the top of the scoreboard. 11, 4, and 5 in the KDA. Very solid stuff there from the Phoenix. Who knows, maybe he has the commentary up. Maybe he heard us questioning those abilities and he decided to put us in our place. It wouldn't be the first time we've been proven wrong on broadcast tonight.
Yeah, there we go. We get the replay of it as well. Brilliant stuff there from the Phoenix. Oh, Karma. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, though, from Calix. Is he able to connect any of these? Is he able to find any frags? The answer to that is going to be no. As meanwhile, towards Seaside, Warpig has been able to find an entry there for Southampton. Still trying to work their way in, trying to get the pressure through double doors as well, but Faith just deals with it in quite comfortable fashion indeed. 2 players storming in on his position, and he just deals with it. Spike can be planted or not from Tom, as Karma finds 2 frags to add to his already insane tally. He's feeling very, very confident. And again, it's Calix left alive in this clutch. 2K with the spray. 2 more to find, and a lot of time left on the clock despite the spike not being in his control.
An excellent adaptation from Portsmouth, trying to build the momentum, as we did allude to it in previous games. As never mind, we're looking at the numbers slowly being thinned out now. 1-1. I did question why Calix used his ult very early on in the fight. He obviously thought he must have seen something and chose to try and go for an entry kill, because the ult that he had at the beginning of the round definitely would be much more favorable in this 1-1 situation where he's trying to bring his team a little bit closer to that even scoreline.
Through. Calix has just about been able to cross. Here comes the peak, though, from Karma. The Sova thought he was secure with the bomb plant, but I would have maybe have forgone the recon bolt there, because that gave away too much information to Karma, because Karma was convinced that Sova was maybe coming spawn side or B side, but the recon bolt just gave up the ghost, and there we go. Karma again, double spray with the flash through as well. Just insane plays from both sides. For all intents and purposes, both players on both sides have been stepping up with some of these insane rounds. It's just Portsmouth having the lion's share of them.
Yeah, definitely very heavy-handed on the side of the Southampton Sova, making his intentions very, very clear, as Taylor manages to pick up 1 here in this round.
Yeah, he does, and Karma continuing to pile on the pressure inside of mid. Calix here with the Sheriff, can't quite connect the shots onto the push through. Karma here, he decides to take a little bit of a more passive angle there towards B, surrenders the bomb site to Southampton. There's the spike plant coming through. Karma, look at the confidence that he has. He just pushes these smokes without a care in the world, and he's found another kill as a result of it as well. This is a brilliant play from the Portsmouth side, and looks like they'll be able to get that defuse in just fine. They're just searching for a couple of weapons, and soon they will be able to get that in. But my word, Karma has just been crazy, crazy, crazy this game.
Definitely Foreshore has chosen to turn it up as the flawless now finally registered here for Portsmouth. Looking to maybe get that train out of the station as we now see 4 straight rounds for them. But obviously Southampton more than capable of clapping back, as we did see in rounds 4 through 6. Just need to get their footing. As you can see, 3 of the ults are online here for both. But Karma looking at to come back up on that, run it back with just either an orb pickup or one of the many frags that he's added to his name.
Oh, is he going to go for an aggressive play there? Yeah, though, Karma. I get the feeling he is. There's the aggressive play with the Brimstone Smokers down. Again, similar play to what we saw a couple of rounds ago with Rush Through the Window, and it gets the same thing as it did previously as well. A kill to the Phoenix's name. Karma's not stopping now. Hano's able to get the res in, but Karma knows exactly where that happened and was attempting to try and get the spray through, but Voltos is able to take him out of the equation. But yeah, that's an interesting one there for Portsmouth. That looked positive, at least initially, with that push through. But now it's a 3 versus 3, and they're not entirely sure where they want to go with this one. Both sides, they're both in a bit of confusion at the moment. But I think the attackers will eventually collapse the A-bomb site, and the defenders of Portsmouth, they've got advanced positioning in towards double doors. There's the kill, though, from Chris. So that makes things a little bit more easy for them. But A offensive it is. Spike being planted on that very site. 2 versus 3 situation here for Southampton as they get back into their post-plant positions. They haven't been caught in transition here either. The recon dart will not result in any tags either, as all of those Portsmouth players trying to come from one position at the moment. Tom inside of short here. There's one, and now he's left all alone. He has to try and find these follow-up frags, and he does. The orbital strike as well would mean the spike defuse cannot happen. And Tom is just playing around with the time. Chris trying to get up close and personal with the sniper, but Tom with the 3K to seal it for Southampton. That's the round they needed.
Excellent stuff there. Just honestly, keeping calm under pressure. Things were looking a little bit questionable because try as they might, they weren't able to get the numbers advantage. The moment that they were able to get a frag that would put them in the lead, the res came through. So we're always playing even numbers, which, you know, the past couple of rounds weren't looking in their favor whenever they were playing a fair fight. But keeping calm under pressure was Tom to clean things up for his team, keep them in it. 7-4 now as we go here into our 12th round.
No faith for the early pick though, but there's the trade and an opportunity to the C side. The rotations have come very quickly from Portsmouth, and my word, Talon just swings that, tries to spray down through the smoke. Won't get any more. Voltos with the push through A has been able to find one as well. And he'll be a little bit of a thorn in the side here. Trying to establish a foothold here towards A, but that spike is still in the rotation. But there's no instant response here to all of this noise towards A that Southampton have been piling on. Portsmouth a bit slow to react. That molly. Oh, and the orbital strike is going to be a massive problem. At least the spike's planted, but it does take out Tom.
Yeah, I don't want to be you. Definitely living up to his moniker as you can see the entire visual indicator that Tom was no longer for his world. He's going to have to leave it up to his engine to clean things up. There's ult come through.
There's one, and there's the swing from Karma. And he just had to know that as soon as that ult ends from that Sova, he still has to pull out his gun. So that's the ample opportunity for you to just swing him and find the easy kill. As the defuse there for Portsmouth, they're able to get themselves up to 4 rounds now. Up to 4 rounds as we see that up on the scoreboard. But my way, Southampton up to 4 rounds. Yeah, sometimes these get switched around at halftime, and it's really, really awkward to try and describe. But that is the end of the first half. On to the second half then. Sides have been swapped around. So we'll get to see in the closing stages of this map now, of this series, which team which university is going to go and join UEA in the grand finals? That's the question that is going to be answered in a not too distant future.
Yeah, and we've been seeing the team that gets ahead first is the team that is able to sort of keep that momentum. Obviously, Southampton want to be looking to put a stop to Portsmouth's pretty wild ride so far. Tom was able to keep his team sort of competitive. But, he needs the rest of his engines to step up to the plate. And whilst they weren't able to get to their destination station on the offense, whilst they're waiting for their passengers to arrive, hopefully take things into their hands.
Yeah, Faith with the great little kill towards window there. So gets the advantage here for the Portsmouth side. Just wondering what they're doing because they got a flank here of the defenders towards the window, but that's going to still be quite a ways away from where this attack is coming in towards the C bomb site. Warpick, has to hold strong on this site if they're going to have a chance, and he's only good enough for one. So spike plant in progress. And now it's just the Rays on the side of Southampton to try and clutch this pistol round out. And the breach behind the wall is perhaps where you don't want them because he can use all of his abilities.
And it'll be interesting to see if he is actually going to try and fight this out. Still positioning very aggressively, like he does want to fight this rather than backing off and maybe biting off much more than he can chew. It's around, unsurprisingly, going the way of Portsmouth.
Yeah, it does. So there we go. They're able to extend their advantage in this game 9-4 here with that pistol round win. So they're in the driving seat for sure in this one, as it's been a bit of a back and forth affair, but Portsmouth with the momentum now. And are we going to see a force come out for Southampton? I don't think so. They've just gone for a couple of upgraded pistols. That is going to be it, keeping themselves just below 2,000 credits. Here comes the flash through, though, from Karma, and the team hits their way through double doors. So this is Portsmouth finding a massive gap in the defenses there, as Southampton had stacked elsewhere. So Portsmouth, this is looking like it's going to be a simple round for them, but I've been wrong before. But Karma, I'm certainly not wrong about him and how well he's doing.
Yeah, he's just pushed himself to his 20th kill of this match, so he is leading the scoreboard by a country mile. He picks up another, not content with the big 2-0.
There we go. Absolutely flawless from the attacking side of Portsmouth. They're up to 10. Just 3 rounds away, potentially, from a grand final. But can Southampton put up the fight? They're trailing by 6 rounds. So it's a very, very long road back. But it's been a pretty good game so far. But now, at this stage of it, it's really Portsmouth's game to lose. If they can convert this gun round, I think this is pretty much it done.
Yeah, and you can actually see on the scoreboard, Chris, who is currently trailing Portsmouth's kill feed, is actually tied with kills for the 3rd player of Southampton. It has been a complete mismatch in fragging ability here on this map.
Smokes down onto the C site as Portsmouth try to batter on the doors once again, but it looks like Southampton have been able to put up a better defense this time around, and in fact, Portsmouth still trying to commit towards the C bomb site. The breach flash causes Faith a massive problem. Now it's a 3 versus 2 situation. Karma is still here, ready and waiting, playing around the edge of his wall as well. And it's a bit of a stalemate, a bit of an awkward situation on this D site, but now Karma decides to swing it, and now 2 versus 2. The ult is up to run it back from Karma. Can he connect the bullets? Not with his ult. He gets a second chance, though. Back to reality, and he's gonna try and play around with these angles, but it looks like Hanno has the aim to be able to deal with him. And that's another, well, it's a round in the favor of Southampton, and one they really needed.
Yeah, a lot of those players, even though he did drop, did come off the back of Tom. Definitely living up to the moniker of his name, conducting those engines on their way to victory. They were able to deal with him. It's unfortunate that we did have another one of those sort of bot karma rounds where the ult doesn't get very much done and he does drop. But with 23 and 7, I don't think that's anything he's going to be dwelling on for too much longer.
You can't have everything going your way. That's just all I'm saying. But, Voltos with the auto shot, he just sitting behind the double doors here. The flash through will... Oh, Karma just completely just peeks into it. Just takes the shotgun shells to his face, but still able to land the frag onto Voltos. Here comes the Aldrone through there from Calix as he's towards A. He sees no presence towards long, and we can see on the attacking side of Portsmouth, it looks like they're setting up for... At least they thought about double doors there, but it looks like they're trying to readjust and look to try and take this attack to the A bomb site where it's just that Sova there lying in wait. Calix has to find these frags. Faith goes down. So does I Don't Want to Be You. Karma is there to bail out his team as ever and allows the spike plant to come in. Now Heno coming through the CT position now, and Heno trying to catch out these angles. Karma is here ready and waiting with the wall. Gets him a little bit of healing as well. Both of those defending players out on towards the site now. Talon finds one. Karma finds the other. And Portsmouth are up to 11. Just 2 rounds away from a grand final spot.
Yeah, honestly, a masterclass in how to just maintain mental pressure. They weren't really peaking all that much. They were sort of forcing the defenders to play offense despite the fact that they are supposed to be defending. They know that their back is against the wall, and the Portsmouth side are just bringing those walls closer and closer and closer to them. They're saying that it's like, you are in this box. How are you going to get out of it?
Well, they were trapped in there. They weren't able to pull out some Houdini shenanigans to try and get out of it. So it's going to be Portsmouth, like I said, 2 rounds away from a grand final. And they have a lot of rounds buffer here. They can afford to lose a couple and still be pretty clean until the end. But Karma with the timing through, but he doesn't find the kill. Tom is able to pull out his gun in time and cut down the Phoenix that has been causing Southampton so many problems. Voltos with the paint shell kill onto Faith. There's the response from I Don't Want to Be You, though. As little fights here and there towards the mid position. But look at all the pushes right now from Southampton. They've pushed through A, they've pushed through C. So now Portsmouth are really, really boxed in. But it's the pistol here for Warpig. He has to land the dinks required to be able to make this one happen, but he simply isn't ready for Talon's peak. And it looks like Portsmouth down towards the C bomb site. There you go. Talon with another kill. Voltos with the rifle. He's going to play a little bit of timing here. He's going to throw the C4 in, try and find the backstab. He finds Chris, but more players he has to find, and I Don't Want to Be You. Make sure he can't find any of them. Talon with the 3K to finish it off. And that is series point to Portsmouth. 1 more round.
And I think we can call it quits here. As you can see, the full buy coming through from Portsmouth. They have all the cash in the bank. We're going to see an operator on the side of Warpig. You know, they are pretty much going guns blazing. They know that this is potentially their final round. It looks like they're putting everything into this and hoping they can maybe make the miracle comeback, offer some momentum, but no time to be frugal here. This is their last chance. The Vault is setting up on the high ground.
Southampton with the early pick, though. There's the response, and in, well, twice as potent as well. Faith and Talon able to make sure that that early pick they lost doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. There's Karma. There's another one to add to his tally. Hano able to trade, and well, it's a 3 versus 2 now. Match point, series point for Portsmouth. Are they going to double back? They're actually going to get the res to add insult to injury here. 4 versus 2 now instead of the 3 versus 2. Portsmouth are readjusting. They're going back towards A here, and you have to go for this with Southampton. It's match point. You might to try and see what happens. He has to pull off a absolutely ridiculous play here if they're going to be able to make this game continue on any further. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, though. That might cause a bit of a problem for the Spike Planter. There's Talon going down. Is Calyx able to follow up? No, it's just the one for him. At least there's a slight chance. There's the res as well. So now all of a sudden, we're even Stevens in terms of the numbers on the server for this potential final round. Calyx trying to work himself in. Can he find the opening required? But looks like there's none of them going to come his way for now. Portsmouth playing relatively passive. There's the peek from Faith to make sure the numbers are in the favor of Portsmouth now. Voltos is here on the side. There's the orbital strike as well. Voltos double spray down. He's able to get it, but it's not done. It is now as far as Hanno is concerned. But is there time for that defuse to keep Southampton in it? Yes, it is. We go at least one more.
An absolute nail biter there for everyone that is a Southampton fan, hoping that they can stay in it. They may have lost their conductor, but the engines haven't run out of steam just yet as they pull in to the station here. 6-12, definitely a very, very high incline to scale. With only half the rounds here, they basically got to play flawless from here on out. But, you know, every extra chance you give yourself is an extra chance to put yourself closer to that coveted grand finals against the team that hasn't lost anything so far. Portsmouth currently only losing to the guys sitting, and they want their run back.
Portsmouth again committing towards mid this time around. That's a great peek from Hendo directly onto the head of the opposite stage. And oh, that's a bit of an awkward one. I don't want to be peeking out before Hanno has the chance to be able to get the wall up. Voltos with the rocket now, not able to connect through the orbital strike. 4 versus 3 situation now. 3 versus 3, all even between the two teams. So this has been a frantic potential end to this game, but Southampton, they're going to need 6 rounds in a row to even bring it to that one and only overtime round. So if it's rounds like this that they can win, it's going to be a bit of a high heart rate situation that they'll have to try and calm down by the time the end of this game arrives. But again, 2 versus 2, both of those Portsmouth players are oh so low on their HP, and they don't have a Sage alive to make that any better. Yeah,
they say even a cornered mouse might bite, and it looks like maybe the Portsmouth Uni cat has been playing with its food a little bit too long. Needs to close things out here before the bleeding gets a little bit too much.
Here they come. Calyx through, takes out Talon, and now it is the Brimstone. It is I Don't Want to Be You to try and punch Portsmouth's ticket into the grand finals in this round, but it's not going to happen so soon. Calyx gets the defuse in eventually as they're looking for guns, but Southampton, they're not going down without a fight.
They will not go quietly into the night. 7-12 here, only 5 points between them now. I say only, it's definitely, they are not out of the woods. The forest is quite thick.
It is, and when you consider, I guess, they're going up against an eco this round, so this should be one of the easier rounds for them to pick up. But I'm aware that the caster curse is definitely a thing. And there's been occasions before where I've called, oh, this is an eco round. It's going to be simple for them, where the pistols just come alive. So if you're Southampton, you're going to hope that that's not the case, and you're able to get this one in pretty clean fashion. Hanno again with the peek down through B, just making that operator work very, very well. Voltos, there's the buddy coming through, and there we go. Spots out the information as well, but he gets cut down by the Sheriff of Talon, so maybe the pistols are starting to work out. The spike has been planted here by Portsmouth. Are they going to get to the grand final on a pistol round here? Talon is convinced of the fact as he finds another one with the Sheriff. Everyone's tongues up there. Thanks to the break, but all 3 of these defending players from the same pod then out on towards the C bomb site. There you go. The Portsmouth are in such convincing, such strong post plants here that I'm not sure if Southampton's going to be able to make this one work despite the weapons advantage. Are they able to, though? Hanno stabilizes for his team. Faith with the 2K with the picked up rifle. He makes it 3, and Portsmouth are in the final.
Oh, the awesome finish there. Definitely the signs of life were there before the wheels have finally fallen off of Tom's steam engine. But at least keeping it competitive at the very end, not going out without a fight. And Portsmouth getting their run back with the currently undefeated team of UEA sitting in the grand finals. And our bronze medal match has also been decided. As a result, we are going to be seeing Dominus Engine versus whatever Bath's monstrosity of a team name was.
Is a Gamer Guy bathwater, I think it was. But
a fine commodity.
we have to see what the exchange rate is with the other bathwater. But yeah, 13-7 there for Karma and his team as Portsmouth get to the grand final of the UK University Valorant tournament. That was a pretty insane game. It wasn't perhaps close as a scoreline at the very end there, but Southampton, they really didn't want to let that one go so easily. They extended the game for a little bit longer, but unfortunately, they needed to extend it for a little bit too long.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, they did get off to such a massive lead. It was very, very tough for Tom's boys to make it back into the game. Every single time that they were making those victories, it was pretty much just off of the back of some massive individual plays, some real miracle plays to keep them in it. We saw maybe signs of that, sort of steamrolling into a little bit of momentum, maybe some crumbling mental on the side of Portsmouth, but they kept it nice and solid at the very end and were able to clutch out and just clean up pretty much the road that they put ahead for them.
I did jinx it, didn't I?
Yeah, I was definitely worried for a bit.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, Pistols, this should be easy for Southampton to win, right?
I mean, the AWP came through at the beginning, and it looked like it might have been spoken into existence. But
I'm sorry, Southampton. At least you're quite far away from me geographically to be able to get any revenge on me for that. But but there we go.
At the very least, they still do have the option to play for that third place finish. Top 3 out of all the universities that entered the bracket, especially for the first UK Uni Valorant tournament. Definitely nothing to sneeze at, even if you did go down. At the very least, not 2-0, like the opponents that you're going to be facing for that bronze medal match.
Yeah, so they made it a close affair in the series score, but our grand final will be, of course, Rootkit Esports, University of East Anglia as the top seed in the bracket against the Portsmouth Paladins, who you've just seen win this series, finishing on Haven. And that is going to be an absolutely crazy map indeed. It looks like we've got Rook and Hanno lined up for the casting for that one. So those guys will be able to give you an absolutely amazing show. But with that, it is time to end. But the grand final will be on Monday at 7 p.m. UK time. And you simply don't want to miss it because that is going to be insane. We're done here. We'll see you then.